Don't wait until you hit rock bottom before you make a change. Don't wait until it's too late before you make a change. Shine, babe, I was almost 400 pounds, 393 pounds to be precise. Going to brunch, so let's get ready. I knew what it meant for me to be that weight. I knew the consequences. I knew the health risk. I knew the diseases that could affect my life. But I just could never make a decision to start until I wrote my book, Switch Up. In the book, I was teaching people how to be confident in every areas of their life. And I was teaching them on how to stand on what they say, to stand in business. So after reading the book, you know how you have to read the drafts and, give it to an editor and all those things. In the process of doing that, I came to a realization that I have switched up. The name of my book is Switched Up. I have switched up in every area of my life besides when it comes to my weight. Before we even move forward, if this is the first time you're seeing me, my name is Lillian, aka Lily Light. I'm on a GLP-1 medication that I'm using to aid me in a better lifestyle, to make sure that I lose weight and live a better lifestyle. So you're welcome if this is your first time. For my Shine babes, I call my followers Shine babes. Welcome. I've missed you guys. Let's continue.
When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out.
I was stuck in a cycle of always telling myself, okay, I'm gonna start to lose weight this Monday. This Monday, I'm gonna really make sure that I start. And not only am I gonna start, I'm now going to make sure that I eat everything that I feel like I'm going to be missing out on. I really loved iced coffee. Now I'm gonna go to Starbucks and get all the iced coffees. And what I didn't know this was doing to me is that it was shaping my relationship with being a healthy girl or living a healthy lifestyle into more like a punishment. It framed weight loss as punishment instead of an empowerment. Losing weight, living a healthy lifestyle should not be a punishment. Oh, now I feel like I'm being deprived of eating good food because those are not actually good food. Now I have to eat all the food I want. That way, I'm not going to enter into this punishment, because it is punishment in my mind to eat healthy. Instead of weight loss being an empowerment to me, it is now a punishment to me, right? That's one thing. Now let's get into the steps of what we need to do to remove ourselves from being in the cycle of I'm going to start tomorrow, I'm going to start next week, and never actually starting until we hit rock bottom. Step number 1, you need to reflect and know your why. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to start this business? Why do you want to get married? Or whatever goal that you're trying to do, you need to know your why. Because if I had taken time to reflect, I will understand that weight loss is not about depriving myself from eating good food, but it's about living a healthy lifestyle, not about deprivation. So you want to sit down within yourself and reflect, why is this change important to me? How would this change affect my life? How will it improve my life? You want to know why has held you back from achieving that goal? Because honestly, as I said before, knowing your why is very important. Knowing your why will keep you grounded even when the road becomes tough. Right? When it feels like you don't even want to continue with that decision, your why is what will anchor you to continue going on. Because the road to switching up, the road to making a change is never easy, right? Also, another thing with reflection is that you are able to see and carve out, what am I missing out on based off of me not changing? What has my lack of change deprived me of? Because when I did that, my weight, me being overweight, deprives me of a lot of things. First, I wasn't doing activities I'm able to do because of my weight with my children. So I was missing out on certain parts of my children's life. The active aspect of it. Maybe doing things with my husband. I would like to climb off of a cliff with my husband. There's a name for it. I would like to go and skydiving. That's the way. I would like to go skydiving with my husband, but I can't do it because of my weight. I would like to dress because, and I always say this, the way I dress now, maybe today I look cute, but the way I was dressing was not really reflecting what my fashion sense should be. Me not being able to go to the stores was a righteous anger for me because I was literally not able to wear the clothes I wanted to wear. Now that's a part of my life that I can't get. I was not spending or doing great activities with my children or with my husband. Those really made me angry. You need that righteous anger. anger to be able to make that change. So sitting there and reflecting will give you that anger, like, why am I still stuck here? Like, what is happening with my life? Like, why am I not able to do this? It will literally tell you, like, these are the things I'm missing out on, and why when I can make a change. Okay, now that you know your why, you want to do your research. You can't just say, oh, I want to make a change, and then you start making change. You will go in that direction from a limited knowledge or a limited standpoint. So you can only function based off of what you know. And a lot of times, if you're not an expert on something, your knowledge will be limited. And when your knowledge is limited, your moves are limited. Or you do the same thing and not necessarily get the right result. Doing your research is going to enable you create realistic goals and sustain those goals, right? Because now you know. So for instance, when I started wanting to lose weight, I went full force into Instagram, into TikTok, into YouTube, because I wanted to know. I feel like sometimes we think that, oh, when we need to make a change, whatever information that we know now is good enough. It's not good enough. You need to dive in deeper, because there's a reason why you're failing, right? And I'm not an expert on weight. I'm just letting you know how I was able to get on this journey, because the questions have been asked. How were you able to just stop like procrastinating and actually get on this journey? Because you need to find out. Oh, let me even move. From me doing my research, I was able to understand my relationship with macros, right? So I understand now that when I eat carbs turns into glucose, which is sugar, and my body and too much of that in my body is going to make me gain weight, right? So now that I have that information, I don't want to pack a whole bunch of rice on my plate, because I know that's going to turn to sugar, and sugar for my body is not good. So what I would do instead is eat a high protein meal and balance it with fiber. And if I choose to eat a low carb meal. So instead of eating 3 cups of rice, and now eat 1 cup of rice, eat more vegetables, eat more protein. I have that at the back of my mind, because I came from a place where I will wake up in the morning, I'm gonna drink straight coffee that has sugar in it. Now my mindset with the information, because of the research I did, is now I have to get something in my system that is not carbs, so that my body can start moving and functioning before I even take in anything. Like, I need to have an equal amount of fat, my avocados and my good fats and all those things before I even. So when I eat the carbs, my insulin does not spike up. I started reading up on insulin resistance, which I felt like I was. But remember that knowledge empowers you to make the right decisions, and it aligns you with your goals. So do your research. One of the things that encouraged me, as I said, your righteous anger, you're going to get angry at the things that you're missing out on from not making a change, right? Now you want to have a vision of what you've been missing out on. So from you reflecting of what you've been missing out on, now create a mood board of what your life would be, right? Of the person you would be if you were to accomplish your goal. For me, it was the person I would be if I was to lose weight. What would my life be? My mood board, and I will share it with you guys, it was me wearing my little jeans, shapy, looking good. It was me being able to do activities with my children. You can do your mood board with Pinterest, save your favorite pictures and all those things. Put it in a place where you can see it. I use Canva for mine. You can put it in your room or anywhere that you always go, your bathroom, so that, because there are times where this journey will get difficult, as I said earlier. Your mood board and where you envision yourself being is what is going to motivate you. Oftentimes, I've come back to where I was like, oh, I just want to eat my jollof rice in peace. Like, I want to eat more jollof rice. Instead of eating my own 1 cup, I want to eat 2 cups. And then I remember what happens to me when I eat rice. I know that carbs is not bad for you. The excess of too much of it is bad for you. And obviously, there was a reason why I was gaining weight. I was eating too much of it, right? Too much of carbs, too much of fats, and all those things. And I have to remind, and often sometimes I will even do it. I will get to the point where I will eat it, and then I will not feel like myself again. And then I have to go back to, this is how I want to look like. This is what I want to be able to put on. This is the activities I want to look and be able to do with my kids and my husband. And then that I don't know what is it. It resets my mind to be like, okay, I gotta get on it. I gotta grind more. I gotta stop. I gotta make better decisions. That's what the mood board would do. So I want to encourage you to do the mood board so that you can have a visual representation of where you want to be when you do make those changes. Done your research, you created your mood board. You want to remove triggers, right? You want to remove triggers because the triggers are the things that's going to push you backwards, are the things that's going to, sometimes you might have to do a little bit of separation. It might be separation from friends. Maybe your friends are always going out to eat and you know that right now you've not built the capacity and the willpower to resist certain food. It would mean that you don't go out with your friends for a little bit. It might mean that you might have to cut down on the enjoyment for a little bit until you build the willpower, you know? It might build that you are somebody that get easily distracted when you're on a project and you can no longer hang out with your friends as much. Now communication is needed so your friends don't feel abandoned, but any friend that loves you will understand that, hey, Lillian is in a space where she's trying to do better and this is a trigger for her, so she needs to leave. Know what your triggers are. For me, it would be that when I'm highly stressed that I will eat, and now I know that about myself, so anything that brings me stress, now once you know your triggers, like everything you're doing right now is to ensure that you're successful on this journey, because this is not just about losing weight. You can be having other issues in your life that's preventing you from doing what you need to do, but I feel like now that you know your triggers, now that you know who is going to draw you back, the thing that will sustain you, like this should honestly be number one. The thing that's going to sustain you is having that faith. Your faith in God is really going to help you, you know, because you can do all these things and try to work on all these things, but if God is not with you, you will fail miserably, if I'm being honest. So try to build up on your faith, your intimacy with God, and because that spirituality is going to be the thing to anchor you as you're going on this journey. Because as I said earlier, the journey might be tough, like whether you're losing weight, whether you're creating a new career, whether you're doing like anytime you're in a situation where you have to make a change for the better, the enemy does not like it. The enemy does not like to see progress. And so since we know that, and we know the enemy and the tactics that the enemy uses, we have to stay connected to the one who is able to overcome the devil, which is God. Okay? Number 7 is build your support system. Earlier I was talking about removing your triggers, even if it's friends, but you know, making sure that you have the support system, your friends, your family. The people that actually love you will want to see you move up in life. They want to see you change in life. Like my friends are extremely happy and proud of me for the decisions that I've made. And if I ever feel like I'm not able to do this, I have people to talk to. I have my husband. I have you know, my children. Even my little Arella be like, "Mommy, you got it." When I'm doing my little shots, you know, there are people that I can count on that got me. You know, you need people that is gonna surround you. You need positive people that are going to surround you, not people that's going to like try to remove you from the right path that you're working on. When maybe you're a jealous friend, like you didn't even know anyone that is not happy with the success of the things that you're trying to do, you already automatically know that that's not the right person to be around, you know. So make sure that you have your support system in place. Just because you're losing weight or just because you're making the right step doesn't mean that you should isolate yourself. As I said earlier, if your triggers, you're able to isolate yourself for a certain period of time. That doesn't mean that you isolate yourself from everybody. Not everybody is going to be your trigger, right? So that's that. The next step is focusing on your progress, not perfection. I think this is one thing that I honestly struggled with even throughout my journey of trying to lose weight, is that I will make up my mind. That's another thing that we should even talk about. I'll make up my mind that I'm going to lose weight, but I'm so focused on being perfect that if I even slip up a little bit, now it's almost as if I would even give up on the whole dream or the whole goal because I slipped up, because I messed up. If I ate a bowl of rice today, I'm like, oh, now I slept up, now I'm gonna just forget about me losing weight. I'm gonna go on another and start eating or doing the things I used to do in the past, you know. So focus on progress. If you fall off, don't fall off every second. But if you fall off once, know that, okay, I'm going to build back build it back up. You know, I want to build, because it's progress. So every little thing that you add on to it is progress. It counts towards your goal, basically. So don't give up on it because you want perfection. There are times that you might not be able to walk every day. The day you cannot walk, it's okay. Relax. The next day, move on. Where it becomes a problem is when you're no longer consistent in doing the right thing. So it's back and forth, back and forth. But if you've been consistent, every little slip up is okay. It's not gonna, you know, destroy your goal. I talked about staying consistent earlier. So when you stay consistent, also track your progress. You know, track what if you're actually making progress, and if you're not, that's when you need to now recount your steps and regroup and say, okay, what can I do better so that I can get to the goal that I've set for myself. So consistency and tracking your progress is very important. And as time goes on, revisit and update your vision. The goals that you've set for yourself in the past 1 month might have changed. Instead of maybe gaining 1 contract after 6 months, you might want to increase it to now 2 contracts after 6 months, because you've gained more experiences, you've gained more insight as to how to do certain things. Instead of your goal being like to lose 30 pounds, if you were trying to lose 60 pounds, now that you've lost 30 pounds, you might have to update your goal now and recount it as well. So that is that. Now tell me in the comments what other steps someone can take when they're in the point on the process of switching up. Thank you guys.